What's up everyone, it's Kev here from Walk with Kev. It is Talk Tuesday and today I have 3 tips for you to help manage your psoriatic arthritis through diet. So if you've been diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, one of the things you'll hear pretty quickly is that diet is important. It's important for a few reasons. A lot of food can trigger autoimmune conditions, so inflammatory foods, foods high in saturated fat, processed oils, processed foods, these sorts of things can actually make the condition worse. Also, it's important to keep your weight under control. And this is important because if you're carrying around excess weight, that can lead to more health issues that can exacerbate the condition. But also, that extra weight on your joints is just going to cause additional stress. So today, I've got 3 tips, simple, maybe not easy, but simple tips that will help you get on top of your diet. So the first tip that I have for you is eat whole foods. So a simple thing I like to think about is if the food didn't exist 200 years ago, try and avoid it. So what that looks like practically is whole foods, vegetables, fruit, meat. Think about where it comes from, right? If the food came from a lab somewhere, if it was developed by a food scientist, you probably don't want to eat it. Think about who produced the food. Did it come from a farmer? Did it come from a fisherman? If it did, you're probably good to go. So whole foods, vegetables, fruit, meat, fish, yogurt, dairy, these sorts of food. Now for some people, dairy might be a problem, but generally, if you focus on eating whole foods, you're going to be in a pretty good place. Tip number 2 is manage your environment. So what do I mean by manage your environment? Try not to bring processed food, junk food, food high in sugar into your house, okay? One thing that I often tell people is save your willpower for the store so you don't need it at home. So what does that mean? Well, if you're in the store and you buy a load of junk food, you buy a load of processed food, frozen pizzas, whatever it is, and you bring it home, that means every day, every meal, you need to be exercising your willpower instead of that one time at the store. So when you're at the store, if you can say no once, it might save you saying no 10 times when you're at home. So manage your environment. Key thing here is you're creating a bit of friction. So if you're sitting there, you're bored, you're watching TV, you think, oh, I'm going to have a bit of chocolate. If you have that chocolate in your house, you're probably going to eat it, right? So what we're trying to do here is create a bit of friction. That friction is, oh well, I could get up and I could drive to the store, I could get some chocolate, I could get a frozen pizza, make a quick, easy dinner. But that extra bit of friction, having to get up and go and actually jump in the car, drive, wait in a queue, that bit of friction should be enough, hopefully, to make you change your mind and say, you know what, no, I'm going to eat what I have here. We've controlled our environment, so what we have here is healthy food, and we eat healthy as a consequence. So the healthier your environment is, the easier it's going to be for you to eat healthy. And eating a whole food diet, as I mentioned, low in processed food, low in sugar, low in high inflammatory food like rapeseed oils and processed oils like that, that is going to make managing your arthritis a lot easier. Tip number 3 is portion control. So a few years ago, I did a nutrition coach certification with Precision Nutrition, who's an industry leader in nutrition coaching. And one of the most important tips I took away from them was the one that I'm about to share with you right now. And that is an effective way to help you manage your portions. So the way to think about this is, when you look at your plate, whether you're making breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it is, think about protein, carbs, vegetables, and fat, right? So you want those 4 things represented on your plate, okay? Now, when we think about the portion size, we want to think your protein should be about the size of your palm. So a serving of protein, it's about palm sized. Your carbs, and these should be hopefully complex carbohydrates, so potato, sweet potato, rice, those sorts of things. You want about a cupped hand, so if you cup your hands, that's how much carbs you want on your plate. So that'll be, a reasonably sized portion of chips, say homemade chips that you made yourself, preferably in the oven, not deep fried. Next is vegetables. So you want a fist-sized portion of vegetables. So make a fist, and that's how much vegetables you want. So maybe broccoli, green beans, whatever, carrots, or a mix of all those things. And then finally, a thumb-size piece of fat. So your fat will often be kind of included in your cooking method. So let's say you're roasting some potatoes, or you're making some scrambled eggs. You might have some butter in there, you might have some olive oil that you're using. So think about the fat that you're using, about a thumb-sized piece, and you will be good to go. So that one, I really like this tip because it's intuitive. It also scales with your body size. So if you have bigger hands, you probably have a higher calorie requirement for your day. So you will be getting naturally a little bit more when you judge by the size of your hands. You can also carry this anywhere with you. Hopefully you always have your hands on it, and you can use it as a kind of a way to judge your portion wherever you are, whatever the situation is. And that's it. That's tip number 3. So just to recap, we want to eat whole foods, minimally processed. We want to control your environment as much as you can. So don't bring those foods, inflammatory foods or calorically dense but nutrient sparse foods into your house. And 3, manage your portions. Now, this sounds really simple, but it's not easy, right? It's going to require some discipline, some willpower, and if you struggle with this, don't worry. A lot of people do. It's you against a massive industry that is trying to sell you all of that stuff that is, bad for your arthritis and bad for your health. So it's an ongoing battle, one that you're going to have to fight every day, but you can do it. It just helps to have some useful tips and tricks like these to be able to follow. Thanks for joining me today on my morning walk. If you're wondering why I'm recording this and recording all these videos while I'm out here walking, it's because I believe that walking is the single best thing you can do for your health, to help manage your weight, and to help live better with arthritis. So I'm out here every day walking, sharing some tips like today, in the hope that maybe it encourages some other people to get out and walk. It's Tuesday morning. On Tuesday we do Talk Tuesday, so we all talk like we did today about diet and breathing and a few of the other things that we can do to help manage arthritis. Thanks for joining me, and see you again tomorrow.